Some of y'all weren't raised on Tana Mojo and it shows. Hi guys, I'm Beth. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are learning how to cake our face like a pro. Skin prep is of course essential. We're gonna go in with this Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I love this one because you spray it on your face. It's nice and refreshing, and it also actually preps the skin. Something I've always done when I'm caking my face as opposed to just doing my regular makeup routine is starting off with the eyes. Whenever I do my eyeshadow really intensely, I always have so much fallout, so it just makes sense to start with that step. You guys ready for this? We're bringing out our ancient artifact of a palette. This is truly, still to this day, the only eyeshadow I really trust. She's been with me through a lot. We're gonna start by going in with this lightest shade here, just as a base for our eyes. I use one of these brushes for our base. It should barely look like there is anything on the eye. That is exactly what we want. It's kind of like a starter color, and it's gonna end up being a transition color. Next, we need kind of a medium brown. I have always used this one right here. You can see I'm getting to like the bottom of the palette. I like to mix this one and this one for more of a like orangey look. I feel like this combination is so gorgeous, and it really complements people that have brighter eyes. My eyes are a little hazel, a little every color, honestly. They're not just brown and green. But whenever I wear a little bit of an orangey eyeshadow with it, it always looks so amazing and makes my eyes really pop. And I am gonna do a couple rounds of this to make sure those colors are really dark. Just got a glimpse of what I look like. I know I look insane right now. That's why they say all makeup is trust the process. Okay, so now we have a nice subtle blend of just two colors, our light color and our medium color. Step is when it starts to get fun because it's when we bring in the darkest color to really smoke it out. Depending on what you're feeling, you can use either a really, really dark brown or just a black here and just popping it in the inner corner. Now that we have that darker color, we are gonna go back in with a little more of that second color and blend those two out. And again, repeat this step just a couple times until the makeup is as intense as you want it to look. I try not to go crazy on dragging it under because I am about to fill in the waterline. For our waterline, we are going to go in with this cream stick from Bobbi Brown. It's kind of like a crayon, honestly. Also a big fan of tight lining. I know it's a little weird to some people, but I do think it makes a huge difference. To finish out our eyeshadow, I do love doing a small pop of color in the inner corner. This is the Giorgio Armani liquid glitter. Its applicator is so perfect for this. Put it right there to really highlight. And I do use my finger to blend it just a little bit. I love to go over it with a little bit of highlight just to make it pop even more. Look at that, that is so gorgeous. Okay, eyeliner. Unfortunately, as we all know, eyeliner is kind of practice makes perfect. My strategy for a perfect wing has always been starting on the outside. We draw a thin line in, then you almost kind of like make a triangle out of it. So one line in and then one line going up. And once you have the wing, you just go onto the actual eye and draw a very thin or thick line, depending on how you like your eyeliner. Now I am taking a makeup wipe to clean any eyeshadow fallout. We are gonna finish off with some mascara. I don't really have a particular brand of mascara that I love. Any mascara can look good if you do enough coats. I know most of the old Cake Your Face Like a Pro videos would be false lashes all the way, like the super long lily lashes. So jealous of the people that could wear those and actually look good. I did go through a small falsies phase. I used to think that they were easier to put on than mascara, and I don't know who I was kidding myself. I just feel like falsies are kind of out also. I don't really see people wearing them as much anymore. It's time for the actual caking of the face. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I definitely don't have like perfect regular skin. Like I need a good foundation. Too Faced Born This Way is the most fullest coverage the most full coverage foundation I have found. The only thing that sucks about this foundation is it is not my shade. Like none of the shades are my shade. So I always mix it with some of my concealer, which is the infamously full coverage Tarte Shape Tape. Once we have that combination, we are going to mix them together with a beauty blender. Mix it all together. I get the urge to sing that every time. Caking of the face is just making sure you get that absolutely everywhere. But look at the coverage, that's crazy. Just adding some concealer under the eyes and wherever else we see those imperfections or a little bit of redness kind of shining through. I've just always had this problem with covering up how red my face gets, specifically on my nose. If you have that same problem, definitely make sure to conceal the heck out of your face when you're caking it like a pro. Before we get into brows, blush, and bronzer, the three B's, we are going to go in with our Sachi Beauty lip stain. I'm sure you've seen these all over TikTok. They're very trendy right now. And the best part is they actually work. I know this is supposed to be a lip liner, but I put it over the full lips. We line the top. Like I said, a lot of people just leave it on like this, but I do like to fill in the full lip. I just think it looks better and more natural when the full lip is stained than when it's only a stain on the outline of the lip. Let that dry while we do our 3Bs, our blush, bronzer, brows. For blush, I talk about this all the time on my TikTok, but I love going in with a red blush when I know I'm like going to be out at night or just want a more intense, dramatic makeup look. Definitely perfect for the caking your face theme. And the best part is a lot of red blushes blend out to be pretty pink. They're just a more dark pink than you're used to, which is almost kind of scary because if you don't blend it correctly, it can end up looking like you have a bit of a sunburn. You can see how incredibly intense this blush is. So much so I'm needing to kind of blend it back into my base. Do a couple coats of this red blush. This is the Pixi Beauty On The Glow. It has been one of my favorite blushes for years. And I go over the cream blush with a powder blush. This is the Fenty Beauty powder blush. This stuff is so pigmented, so I try to be really careful with it to blend it up and out. Contour and bronzer. So for contour, I am going in with the Charlotte Tilbury contour. I know this thing is super trendy. I hate to be one to fall victim, but it is so nice and buttery. Even though I'm almost out of it, I do have to say this specific contour one has lasted me so long. Like it has actually lasted me well over 6 months, maybe even 8 months. I look so crazy right now. Going in with the Beauty Blender to blend it out even more. Beauty Blender is the real star of the show. For bronzer, we love this NYX Buttermelt. This stuff is so subtle, but so gorgeous. Contour kind of emphasizes. This one is just all about bringing that color and dimension into your face. Now we add some powder. This is the Fit Me powder. I have never used another powder in my life. I put powder pretty much everywhere but the apples of my cheeks because I don't want to mute the blush. So making sure I get the forehead and then like underneath the cheeks and the chin and the nose. And for one of our last steps, we are going to go ahead and fill in our brows. I only brush and fill my brows. I do not use any sort of gel or anything. Don't really have that brow type. It is the L'Oreal Brow Tint. It was very inexpensive. Really easy. You just flick up to the side a little bit and it just brings some color into those brows. This is their auburn shade. It matches great with my hair. Now we're going to wipe off our lip stain and do our lips, and that should be our last and final step. So sometimes these lip stains do peel off themselves. Other times you need to wipe off the excess, especially like in the middle of the lips here. All right, now that our lips are stained this gorgeous pink color, we are going to line them with our Anastasia Beverly Hills lip liner. I have been using nothing but this shade for the past 3 months now. This is gorgeous nudie pink color. Because we are working at a bar tonight, I don't normally use this. This is the Too Faced lip injections, just to make our lips look a little fuller. This stuff is not for the weak. It actually really does sting your lips, but it is also so plumping. Last but not least, we're gonna go in with our Glossier Ultra Lip in the shade Cranberry, just to make our lips a little more of a darker red, as opposed to that like pinky color. Set it all in place with our Kimchi Matte Setting Spray. Adding in the tiniest bit of highlight. I believe we have our finished look. Thank you guys so much if you watched and followed along. Really leave a comment down below letting me know what other makeup looks you want me to try out. Thanks so much for following. Your love and support seriously means the world to me. I'll see you guys in the next one.